Good morning, Juilliard. Wow. What energy in the room. I'm delighted to welcome today's graduates and their families, distinguished honorees, dedicated members of the faculty and administration, and all the other loyal friends and supporters to the Juilliard School's 114th commencement. As chairman of the Board of Trustees of this great school, I have the pleasure of participating each year in this inspiring celebration of accomplishment that is the Juilliard's commencement. Today's ceremony is recognition of the hard work of your years of study. After all that you accomplished in mastering the demanding curriculum of coursework, lessons, rehearsals, performances, all of it, you should certainly be proud. And I want you to know that all of us here on this stage are, and in the audience, are enormously proud of you. There are few enterprises more valuable than passing the invaluable cultural legacy from one generation to the next. You are the emissaries of that legacy. You, today's graduates, have an exceptional opportunity to enlighten and uplift your fellow citizens. It's your work that will pass along and perpetuate the greatest achievements of the human spirit. Having seen your dedication and passionate commitment to your art, I feel, despite everything out there, a great sense of optimism for the future. With your talent, skill, and creativity, you will play a key role in the global performing arts community. Wherever your artistic journey takes you, the standards of excellence that you have seen and learned here will remain with you, and they'll inspire you, your colleagues, and your audience. So I offer my warmest congratulations and best wishes to Juilliard's class of 2019, and I salute you as you go forth to make your own unique mark on the performing arts in the 21st century. And now it's my pleasure to introduce the president of the Juilliard School, Damien Wetzel.
Hello! Thank you, Chairman Kovner. And can we also just say a huge thank you to Paul Jacobs for that extraordinary playing of Philip Glass. Your fellow alum, Philip Glass's Mad Rush, performed as you walked in, had such an undercurrent of energy that I just feel like there's just no way you guys aren't just gonna all just fly into the air out of this building. It's just beautiful to see you all here. I want to begin, before I go any further, express my gratitude to the extraordinary Juilliard faculty and staff arrayed behind us and all around us in here. You are what make Juilliard the institution it is. I want to thank all of our trustees, many of whom are here with us today in the house. Thank you. And our esteemed guests who we'll be speaking with later as they receive their honors today. And I also want to make a special welcome to Camille Zamora, Juilliard alum and your commencement speaker, who created the visionary organization Sing for Hope, allowing artists to participate in community building in hospitals and school, and creating the Sing for Hope pianos, which grace our streets here in New York and around the world every June. And we have a little example here a little early. So thank you and welcome, Camille. It's good to have you here. Perhaps most of all, our thanks go to parents, family, friends, supporters, loved ones who are here, who have brought all of you to us and have supported you throughout your journey. Thank you, parents, family, friends. You are responsible for the class of 2019. The amazing class of 2019 we have with us here. Yes, that is correct. That is right, Jamie. That is right. Graduating students, I too salute you. It's my honor to speak to you in my first commencement as president, and it's an honor that truly humbles me as I consider the work that you have all done and the paths that you have forged to come to this time and this place right here. It's a moment to stop and be proud of what you've achieved. It's a moment to stop and reflect on the values that you have grown. It's a moment to stop and smile. Stop and, that is true too. Perhaps wail. Stop and set the frame for your next adventure, certainly. To stop and imagine a life, a big life. Consider how you will measure this life. The answer, I believe, is actually in the question itself. It's in the word life. Consider what it means to live, to be alive, to be a part of the world in every sense, to participate, to help and be helped, to succeed and fail and succeed again, to work and to rest, to cry, and then to dry those tears, to be passionate and driven, yet at ease and at peace, to love and be loved. That is living. Then consider the span of life. Every moment has eons in it. When you think about the music we just heard, it is timeless. It is the time that goes on, and it is the journey of art and artists like yourselves. Every history has current reality, and every current reality has history. We are indeed, as Wynton Marsalis once said, all born midstream. We are the continuation of millennia. We're not simply ourselves. We contain multitudes, as Walt Whitman wrote. Acknowledge that, and acknowledge that you're actually in a long game. And that's going to change the choices you make in your lives. Many times you'll find yourself confronted with choices that lack certainty, though some of the time it may be clear, this is right for me and that isn't. That'll happen. But just as often, it won't be clear. And in those moments, there is the potential for the extraordinary. There will be risk, and with risk, there will be reward. So my message to you today is simple. Say yes. Just that. Say yes. I know it seems obvious, but in reality, it's actually not simple. It's always easier to not do something. Cynicism has always been in fashion. It's always cool to be jaded. But that cynicism is the enemy of action. It's the enemy of progress, and it's the enemy of creativity. It'll stop you from fulfilling a dream every time. And as artists and human beings, we need to nurture those dreams, not stifle them. We need to imagine, to reimagine, and imagine again. The world is changed by people's dreams, by your dreams, by the habit of saying, what if? Ralph Waldo Emerson, in Self-Reliance, wrote, in every work of genius, we recognize our own rejected thoughts. They come back to us with a certain alienated majesty. Our own rejected thoughts. Think about that. And there's an answer to it. Say yes to those thoughts the first time. Give them the chance to breathe. Let them live. Work at them, refine them, share them, take advice on them, take criticism on them. Be aware of your own power. I'm going to go back to that again. Our own rejected thoughts. When we hear a line in a play and it makes sense to us, there's something in it that we've had that thought. When we hear a melody, it makes sense to our brains because we've actually felt it somewhere before. Be open to that, and you'll do something extraordinary. Say yes and stay open. Stay open for business and for life. Stay open early, stay open late. And as the poet Sonia Sanchez said, stay on the battlefield. Whether it is a new sonata or a collaboration or your daily regimen of tendus or scales or vocalizing or your commitment to further a cause or to benefit society, stay on the battlefield. What you need to remember is that you are not alone there, not in any of what you do. You have your team. By saying yes, you expand that team and create the opportunity for gratitude. And that is the other message I have for you today. Cultivate gratitude. It's a value that will make your life full of meaning. Remember the moments that mattered. Remember the person who took the time to give you a hand and then pay it forward. Cultivate gratitude. Your own sense of gratitude is the seed for collaboration. It's an expansive strategy, certainly at odds with some sort of zero-sum consumerism that we fight against every day in this life. But it is in line with Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s belief that our world does indeed bend towards justice. Say yes and cultivate gratitude as a value that motivates you, and in the end creates the infinite possibilities for your development as artists and as citizens of the world. And now this is not an altruistic do good, though I will say be kind. I speak here now of an ethic that will take you places you cannot imagine and connect you with people you might otherwise never have the benefit of sharing your life with. It's not a repudiation of rigor, of hard work required to succeed, of the hard work that's brought all of you here today, but it is an expansion of the possibilities of what you might do with that rigor to build from this moment on. And as you cultivate gratitude, cultivate inspiration, think about your heroes and say thank you. And be open to admiration. Look for people to admire and learn from always. In my own life, I recognize the imprint of so many heroes, people who've made me who I am, people who've given me strength and have given me solace, whose shoulders I stand on and whose shoulders I lean on. I think of my teachers and I think of my mentors. I think of my predecessor and your president until this year, Joseph Polisi, who I thank for his vision and his generosity to me. I think of my Juilliard family on the stage or in the house, all been around me, an ever-increasing source of joy and strength this past year. And I think of my family, my wife, Heather, whose endless love and support and fierce, idealistic vision make me a better person every minute of every day. I say thank you here and now ask you to join me in saying thank you to your own team who've carried and cheered you on to this day. So continuing in the tradition of our President Emeritus Polisi, Class of 2019, rise and salute your people who are so proud to share this happy day with you. Yes. Gratitude. Gratitude is an expansive philosophy. It's like breathing. It feels good. It determines a lot. It gives us the air to do or not to do. And how grateful we are determines our team. So I ask you to have a big team and also to breathe. It's a thrill to congratulate all of you. It's an honor. I can't wait to watch you do the unimagined, to see you continue to grow, the creative voices of our time joining the generations of extraordinary alumni who are Juilliard. Say yes. Cultivate gratitude. Cultivate inspiration. Be open, be caring. Support each other, be large. Take a stand. Don't second-guess yourself. You do indeed contain multitudes. You're the culmination of so many who have come before. You are the future. Onward, Class of 2019. Thank you. Now, we turn our attention to honoring our distinguished guests. Please join me now in welcoming Madeline Olson to the stage to perform Honorary Kaija Saariaho's work Fall for harp and electronics. Madeline. Wow, let your imagination go. Thank you. Thank you, Madeline, and thank you, Kaija. Thank you. In partnership with Provost and Dean, Ara Guzulimian, and Director of the Dance Division, Alicia Graf-Mack, and the Richard Rogers Director of the Drama Division, Evan Yanulis, we are now pleased to confer honorary doctoral degrees for the 2019 commencement. Kaija Saariaho.
You began your formal studies in your native Finland, where you helped found a progressive, and I would say deliberately provocative collective called Ears Open, with your fellow students including Magnus Lindberg and Esa-Pekka Salonen. After spending time in Freiburg and in Paris, the city you now call home, a fascination with the possibilities of sound in all its permutations took hold. You developed a rigorous and technically assured compositional style, creating sound worlds that often married acoustic instruments with electronic elements, as we just heard so beautifully. Many of your works have been inspired by your constant close collaborations with fellow artists, such as the director Peter Sellers, the soprano Dawn Upshaw, the Lebanese-French author Amin Malouf, the cellist Anssi Kartunen, and the composer and video artist Jean-Baptiste Barrière, who is happily here today. Your music has been described as shimmering, iridescent, and jewel-like. Yours is music that satisfies the intellect and touches the soul. Like all great works of art, your music seems both timeless and distinctly of our time. Your works reveal the innermost experiences of the human condition with a sensitivity that is disarming in its quiet, poetic power. My music, you have written, is written for ears. You don't need to intellectualize it. You just need to let yourself enter. In recent years, your attention has turned to the composition of opera, starting with L'amour de loin, your acclaimed meditation about a 12th century troubadour searching for a distant love, which received its premiere at the Salzburg Festival in 2000 and has since been staged in many great opera houses around the world, including memorably across the street here at the Metropolitan Opera. You've written that L'amour de loin contains elements of autobiography. In the midst of composing it, you said, I understood that it was also my story. I was at once the troubadour and the lady, these two parts of me that I try to reconcile in my life. To write music, concentration is necessary, an interior hearing. To be a woman, to be a mother, one needs to be always available and busy. It's difficult to have At the same time, your feet on the ground and your head in the sky.
With our feet firmly planted on the ground and our heads most definitely spinning high in the sky, the Juilliard School is honored to bestow upon you the degree of Doctor of Music. Alonzo King.
The first time I witnessed your work was in 1996, when I arrived as a 17-year-old apprentice at the Dance Theater of Harlem in New York City. The company was rehearsing the ballet Signs and Wonders, set to the indigenous music of various African tribes. While crouched down on the floor of the studio, I witnessed something that I had never seen before. Beautifully trained classical ballet dancers of every hue and color, etching lines through space, one movement dipping and curving into the next, and each dancer emulating the sounds of worlds far away in distance, but close to the soul. This was your work, the work of a choreographer, a teacher, and a philosopher. As the son of civil rights activists, you had a front row seat to the seismic shifts in society that made our country grow and evolve. I imagine that through your parents' example, you came to understand what it means to live life with purpose and commitment, as evidenced through your company, Alonzo King Lines Ballet. Since its inception in 1982, Lines has nurtured artistry and the development of creative expression in dance through collaboration, performance, and education. Your company, made of the most remarkably diverse and skilled dancers, has touched the hearts and stirred the minds of audiences across the world, from Paris and Hong Kong to the Bay Area, where your company and school are based. You have taken ballet forward, and as one of the most forward-thinking creative artists of our time, you have used it to expand and redefine boundaries, honoring the past while innovating and exploring new possibilities for artistic expression. Your work is known for bridging communities of composers, visual artists, and costume designers, all who share the same passion for revealing our common humanity. Mr. King, thank you for maintaining the unyielding faith that we are more than our bodies, that we are more than our racial, financial, or religious identities. Your ballets and your teaching reminds us of the possibilities of what we can be as opposed to what we are, always aspiring to discover and unearth the signs and wonders in all of us.
With gratitude for enriching all of our lives with your limitless artistry and for teaching us to aspire beyond ourselves, the Juilliard School is honored to bestow upon you the degree of Doctor of Fine Arts. Bravo! Rita Moreno.
In your 2011 autobiography, you tell how at the age of 5, you, Rosita Dolores Alverio, the daughter of a seamstress and a farmer from rural Puerto Rico, left your island home to undertake a harrowing sea voyage towards the much different island of Manhattan. It was then that performing became your refuge from the everyday hardships of your life as a new arrival in Spanish Harlem. From early dance lessons and work dubbing over the voices of American child actors for Spanish-speaking audiences, you went on to make your Broadway debut at the age of 13 and soared to national attention with your unforgettable performance as Anita in the 1961 film of West Side Story. And for that, you were the first Hispanic woman to win an Oscar. You overcame the prejudice and typecasting that marked the early part of your career, countering the limits of perception with the reality of accomplishment. Known to many in the Hispanic community as La Pionera, or the pioneer, you have been a role model to artists and activists alike. You are one of only 15 people in the world who have won an Emmy, a Grammy, an Oscar, and a Tony. In fact, you won 2 Emmys, plus a Golden Globe Award, 4 American Latino Media Arts Award, a Screen Actors Guild Lifetime Achievement Award, a Peabody Career Achievement Award, and a Kennedy Center Honor. It goes on, it goes on. You were awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom by President George W. Bush and the National Medal of Arts by President Barack Obama. You took part in Martin Luther King's historic March on Washington in 1963, and since then have worked tirelessly for civil rights, early childhood education, and higher education opportunities for those from underserved populations, as well as on health issues like hunger, HIV/AIDS, breast cancer, heart disease, and diabetes. On stage, on screen, and in our national community, you have moved us, challenged us, and inspired us to be better. You have enriched our lives with your artistry, your advocacy, and your humanity. And after more than 7 decades as an actor, you're still going strong. Rita Moreno, you are a national treasure.
Ms. Moreno, you are indeed a national treasure, a living legend and an inspiration to us all. And the Juilliard School is honored to bestow upon you the degree of Doctor of Fine Arts. And now, in a tribute to one of Rita's most iconic roles, it is my pleasure to welcome Juilliard Jazz graduate Micah Thomas to the stage to the Sing for Hope piano. you so much, Micah. Thank you, thank you, thank you. With joy and sincere admiration, it's my pleasure to introduce this year's commencement speaker, an extraordinary artist and citizen artist. I've already talked to you a little bit about the tireless work she's done to ensure that the arts are accessible to all as the co-founder of the endlessly inspiring Sing for Hope, which brings gorgeous instruments like the one Micah just played on to our neighborhood's parks and public spaces before they go on to schools and community centers and hospitals to live among the community in our world. You also may know her from her vibrant performing career as an acclaimed vocalist, appearing on stages and distinguished recital halls worldwide, fitting of her Juilliard alumnus, and a passionate ambassador for our community here at Juilliard. And more recently, you may know, but probably don't know, she's also our newest addition to Juilliard's Board of Trustees. It is a natural and rousing advocacy on behalf of our school and our students. I know her in all of these capacities, but first and foremost, I know her as my brilliant friend. Please welcome Camille Zamora.
Thank you. Chairman Kovner, President Wetzel, President Emeritus Polizzi, Provost and Dean Guzalemian, distinguished honorees, esteemed Board of Trustees, renowned faculty and staff, dear friends, fabulously devoted family members, and brilliant, resilient, amazing Juilliard class of 2019. What a joy to be here to celebrate your commencement. I am giddy and I'm grateful to be able to add my voice to your impassioned cheering section of friends and family and fans near and far. That dazzling phrase of just a few years ago, "You got into Juilliard," now meets its beautiful counterpart, "You got out of Juilliard." Yes! Bravissimi! Congratulations. What an accomplishment. It's big. It's big. And this day is made even more glorious by the fact that it's co-owned by so many people in your life who have walked and stumbled and leapt with you along the way. Your family, your friends, your mentors, your scene partners, your creative investors, your co-conspirators, your besties, your muses. All of these forces are gathered here around you on this bright morning to recognize your great accomplishment. The concentric circles of your talent, the ripple effects of the work you've put in here resonate this morning far beyond Lincoln Center. I was fortunate to be a student here from 2000 until 2004, first for my master's degree and then for my artist diploma in opera studies. When President Wetzel asked me to give this year's commencement speech, my first thought was that it feels like just yesterday that I was making a running dive into the elevator to get to Ms. Cox's ear training class on time. And I still occasionally have that recurring dream, as fresh now as it was in my first semester, that I'm back on stage at the Sharp Theater singing the Countess in Le Nozze di Figaro, a role I was lucky enough to sing here for the first time. In my dream, the bliss of Mozart's harmonies are enveloping us, and my colleagues are spinning out these gorgeous lines, peppered with Da Ponte's delicious Italian twists and turns. And suddenly I am realizing that I'm singing in a language that's totally unrecognizable. And I'm stark naked. Classic Juilliard anxiety dream. This place gave me one or two of those. But it also gave me the phrase and the life lesson, in bocca al lupo. Yeah, as my vocal arts family here will tell you, that's what we opera singers say to each other as we walk on stage. It's the Italian equivalent of break a leg. In bocca al lupo means literally into the wolf's mouth. There, go. Feel your heart race, yes, but take that step, take the stage, bring it. In Bocca Lupo speaks to the nature of courage, which is not the absence of fear, but rather acting in the presence of fear. In Bocca Lupo says that if something scares you, it's a sign that it's worthy of your energies. What this has meant for me, and what you'll soon find out if you haven't already, is that in future seasons, when you stand on the great stages of the world, when you present at the United Nations, when you face a classroom of third graders, you won't be daunted. You'll know that you can do it, because here you brought all of yourself, even on those days that you were underslept and overwhelmed. You faced down your toughest scenes and your fugues and fouettes and fioritura passages, and in the practice room, you faced yourself. You have been forged in these flames of legacy and history, and you showed up and you did it. I've been talking to you all in my head for the last couple of weeks, wondering what essential pieces of wit and wisdom I wish that I'd heard 15 years ago. As a singer, I'm an interpretive artist, someone who loves to breathe life into other people's words and melodies. For that reason, I'm deeply comfortable quoting folks wiser than myself. So, here are 4 quotes tied to 4 key qualities that you'll be carrying out with you onto the corner of Broadway and 65th Street later this afternoon. Quote number 1. If you ask me what I came to do in this world, I, an artist, will answer, I came to live out loud. 19th century French novelist and playwright Émile Zola. Now, there's no way you could have made it to this graduation moment if you weren't living out loud, boldly, with purpose. And as you've likely seen, when you live out loud, the universe hears you. You may have a crazy idea, like placing hundreds of artist-designed pianos in the streets for anyone to play, and you will carry it forth, because here you have trained yourself to dream big and speak loud. This doesn't mean that every venture you pursue will succeed. In my career as a singer and my work with Sing for Hope, I've definitely been shot down more times than I care to count. I'll never forget the noted philanthropist who explained to me that only somebody who doesn't respect music would put instruments on the streets for anyone to play. So, your boldness will at times be met with blank stares. But if you stay true to your heart's mission and keep going, you will find your people, your spiritual board of directors, your personal founders circle, and they will share your vision. And what you create with them will be amazing. Quote number 2. Art alone can sharpen the moral imagination and turn sorrow into meaning. American novelist and Nobel laureate Toni Morrison. Your art helps us make sense of a world that feels increasingly chaotic and uncertain. Of course, the life of an artist isn't always rosy, and there will be those days when you want to hurl your instrument across the room. Always awkward if you're a singer, or a dancer or a playwright. But fundamentally, you create art because you made a choice a long time ago to double down on a life of meaning. You've made the choice to be vital in the sense of la vida, a life fully lived. As purveyors of live creative art, you're like the slow food movement, farm to table. You hearken back centuries in order to point us forward to a more sustainable future. You are the brilliant repurposers of the endlessly renewable resource that is creativity. You are our call to attention, the artisanal weavers of our dreams, the beekeeper, the honeymaker in the hill country, the wake-up call, the generator of hope. There has never been a more important time in history for you and your art. Quote number 3. To be an artist, you need the skin of an elephant and the soul of a butterfly. Iconic soprano and Juilliard alum, Evelyn Lear. To be strong, even as you're vulnerable, that's fierce, that's rare, that's power. And that's what you've honed here. The complexities of our art forms are many, but in essence, all great art rests on simple building blocks. For those of us who are singers, and we're all singers, Our work begins and ends with the simplest of elements, breath. Vocalized breath is the first indicator of human life, as any newborn's cry will tell you, and it connects us all. It's this deeply connected state that we tap into when we share art, and it's why you all, as creatives, are quite literally our hope for a unified future. You are the butterfly soul protected by the elephant skin. That is a superpower that you carry out from this building later today, along with your diploma. Quote number 4 from another Juilliard alum. I am interested in pushing for the role of culture to have an equal place at the table with politics and economics. Iconic cellist and changemaker Yo-Yo Ma. Enter citizen artistry. You all, Juilliard tribe, know this stuff well. Citizen artistry is a vision in which artistic expression is positioned as a central part of individual wellness and societal harmony. In neighborhoods right outside these doors, in rising economies like Sri Lanka and Mexico, in places like Puerto Rico that are recovering from disaster, and all around the globe, citizen artists are helping to build new societies of justice and peace. They're voicing the UN Sustainable Development Goals. They are bringing art's universal language to bear on challenges ranging from the refugee crisis to education inequality to healthcare. Sing for Hope, fostered here at Juilliard by myself and bestie and fellow soprano, brilliant Juilliard grad Monica Eunice, has produced creative programming that spans refugee camps in Greece to classrooms in the South Bronx to the Sing for Hope pianos that hit the streets of New York City next week. And in countries around the world, members of our Juilliard family are leading the citizen artist charge because Juilliard's ethos of excellence acts as a megaphone, a high-frequency resonance. Thinking back on my graduation a decade and a half ago, I had no idea how I would honor my sense of social justice and still sing on the level that I aspired to. I still don't know that, and I don't know so many things. But looking back to my graduation moment, I did do a few things right. And before I close, I want to share those things with you. First of all, this community, you are forever a part of it. The people in this room are your team. Your teachers and colleagues here are among the best in the world, and when you leave, they will still be an incredible resource for you, as you will be for them. Stay connected, stay in touch, nurture these relationships, keep creating together. Secondly, living boldly and speaking truthfully will expose you to heartbreak. Expect this and know that you will heal. In the end, the gain of a fully ventured life is more than worth it, and you'll be stronger than ever. And last but not least, this. Your unique talent, specific to you alone, has been cultivated to peak form here. This essence, this inspiration, what in Spanish we call duende, what could be called soul, is completely individual, even as it connects us to something universal in our human experience. It's your little light, to quote the spiritual that Leontine Price sang when she was a student here. It's the creative spark that lives in each person. The beauty and power of your spark is why you were chosen to be here. This light lives with you and you alone, and it can never be taken away. Remember this, because the world needs your light right now, perhaps more than ever. During your time here, your job has been to cultivate your light, to stretch and arpeggiate and amplify it. And now, it's time for you to get out of the way and let it shine. That is the hardest work of all, the work for which all other work is but preparation. And it's the work you were born to do. Brilliant, resilient, amazing Juilliard class of 2019. Shine on. Thank you.
it's a little bit difficult to follow Camille Zamora, who I remember as a student, and I remember when she graduated. As she said, this is a family. And now I'm honored to introduce the next segment of today's program, which is the presentation of commencement prizes. But first, I'd like to extend my personal congratulations to all of today's graduates. And I know that I speak on behalf of all of us who work on Juilliard's 5th floor, or the academic floor, to say that we are profoundly moved and touched by all that you achieve on the stage and in the classroom. It's a privilege to be around your artistry. Page 6 of your program booklet lists scholarships and prizes which recognize the remarkable abilities of the recipients. Included among these awards are career grant fellowships that offer significant funding for some of our most gifted students as they pursue artistic endeavors after graduation. Juilliard is deeply grateful for the generosity of alumni and friends who have made these scholarships, awards, and fellowships possible. The commencement prizes that are presented now will be a surprise to the recipients. Each carries a cash award of $1,000. I will begin with presentation of the Richard F. French Prize, which is awarded annually at commencement for a doctoral dissertation that is deemed by the Doctoral Governance Committee to be both superior and distinctive. This prize was established in 1999 by the late Richard F. French, who was former head of our doctoral committee and an esteemed member of Juilliard's graduate faculty. Mr. French's teaching emphasized both creative thinking and rigorous investigation of musical source materials. When the doctoral committee reviews the year's dissertations for awarding of this special prize, we look for work that best exemplifies these values. The selection of one dissertation for this honor in no way diminishes our pride in the work of all of our doctoral fellows. Juilliard's doctoral program is one of the most demanding in the country, and all of the graduates who you will soon meet have worked extremely hard to produce work of fine scholarship. We're enormously proud of all of you. On behalf of the Doctoral Governance Committee and in fond memory of Mr. French, I'm pleased to present the 2019 Richard F. French Prize for the dissertation, The Third Violin Sonata of Charles Ives Revisited by Arthur Willeford. Superbly written and filled with keen musical analyses, Arthur revisits the circumstances surrounding the composition, publication, and reception history of the work, and then offers performers his own new scholarly edition. Arthur, would you please come up for this award?
In 1928, President John Erskine united the Juilliard Graduate School with the Institute of Musical Art to form what was then called the Juilliard School of Music. A highly respected scholar, pianist, and music lover, Dr. Erskine continued his long teaching career at Columbia University while serving as the president of Juilliard. Each year, members of Juilliard's academic faculty nominate an undergraduate student of exceptional scholastic and artistic achievement to receive the John Erskine Prize. This year, there are 2 recipients, tenor Mish Eusebio and percussionist Tyler Cunningham. Alicia Graf Mack, the director of the dance division, will announce the Martha Hill Prize, and following her, Evan Yanulis, the Richard Rogers director of the drama division, will announce the Michel and Surya Saint-Denis Prize. Alicia?
Congratulations to the entire graduating class of the Juilliard School 2019. Today I'm here to offer the Martha Hill Prize for Sustained Artistic Development and Outstanding Leadership in our community. Martha Hill was a dance visionary who became the founder-director of the dance division at Juilliard in 1951. She was keenly recognizant of talent and supported the development of many prominent dancers and choreographers of the time. She stayed at her post, beloved by all, for 34 years. The graduating class of 2019 is a truly extraordinary group of talented young dance artists. After the vote by the faculty, I am thrilled to announce that the 2019 prize will go to Anka Putin. I would also like to take a moment to acknowledge another prize that has already been awarded in the dance division by faculty vote. The Hector Zaraspi Prize for Choreographic Promise has already been presented to Ethan Colangelo. Congratulations, Ethan.
The Michel and Surya Saint-Denis Award is named for the founding co-director of the drama division and his wife, who was consultant director of the division from the time of her husband's death in 1971 to her retirement in 1987. The award is awarded at commencement to a graduating fourth-year student for outstanding achievement and a strong commitment to the ensemble. This year's recipient is David Rosenberg. And I, too, would like to announce an award that was previously given, the Laura Pels International Foundation for Theater Prize in Acting. It's awarded by the Drama Division faculty to the graduating student who has demonstrated proficiency in the technical and imaginative skills that reflect the principles of the Juilliard training and who shows the promise for a theatrical career that can successfully encompass a rich variety of classical and contemporary acting styles. This year's recipient is Jamie Lawson. Congratulations.
The Peter Menon Prize is awarded to a graduating bachelor's degree student in music for outstanding achievement and leadership. Composer Peter Menon served as president of the Juilliard School for 21 years. During that time, he presided over Juilliard's move to Lincoln Center and added the drama division and the playwriting program, the opera center, and the doctoral program to augment Juilliard's role in preparing young artists in all three performing arts. And once again, there are two recipients. I'm very pleased to present the Peter Menon Prize to two Bachelor of Music graduates, soprano Jessica Niles and jazz saxophonist Emmanuel Wilkins. Jessica is in St. Louis, singing with Opera Theater of St. Louis, and doing exactly what she should be doing. And Jessica, I hope you're watching the live stream and were appropriately surprised. The William Schumann Prize, in honor of the 4th president of Juilliard, is awarded to a graduating master's, graduate diploma, or artist diploma student in music for outstanding achievement and leadership. At the beginning of his 17-year tenure as President's Division, formed the Juilliard String Quartet and introduced many educational innovations which continue to enrich Juilliard's professional artistic training. In his subsequent leadership as president of Lincoln Center, William Schumann developed programs such as the Mostly Mozart Festival, the Chamber Music and Film Societies, and he oversaw Juilliard's move to become the educational constituent of Lincoln Center. And I'm very pleased to say that this year there are 3 recipients of the William Schumann Prize. They are jazz pianist Addison Fry, classical guitarist Alberta Khoury, and violinist Harriet Langley. The final prize to be awarded today is the Joseph W. Polisi Prize. Fittingly, the prize is for exemplifying Juilliard's values of the artist as citizen, and it's presented to a graduating student in dance, drama, or music. That phrase, artist as citizen, continues to characterize Joseph Polisi's own central values, and is in fact the title of his book of essays on the subject. His superb leadership was marked by his dedication to educating young artists to take their place in society as fully engaged citizens and advocates for the arts. And Joseph, we're honored by your presence here. This year, the Joseph W. Polisi Prize goes to 3 graduating students in dance, drama, and music, who in addition to their artistic excellence, have been extraordinarily active and fully engaged members of the Juilliard community. And when you come up, may I just ask that you stay a moment to hear us say nice things about you. They are mezzo-soprano Hade Guy, dancer Moslene Park Harrison, and actor DJ Daughtry. Mezzo-soprano Hade Guy has served as president of Juilliard's Black Student Union, helping to spearhead Juilliard's Martin Luther King Jr. Day activities, and has been a formidable voice for students in this community. She has served as orientation leader, has participated in many student programs, such as the 2016 election primer, and was a fellow in both the Gluck Community Service Program and the Music Advancement Program. Hade Guy. Dancer and choreographer Mosleen Park Harrison was a student representative for her class in the dance division. She has served as a Gluck Fellow group leader since 2016 and is a member of the Collaborative Arts Ensemble, a classical arts production company designed to amplify the voices of world-class emerging artists around important social issues through cross-disciplinary concert programming. She's also served as a volunteer for the Dance for Parkinson's program. Mosleen Park Harrison. And I've never called you Daryl Jean Daughtry before. So forgive me if I stick to what I know. Actor DJ Daughtry is one of the founding members of the Home Base Collective, which has brought together a large group of Black actors, writers, and directors from NYU and Juilliard, and continues to expand to other programs. He has spent 2 summers in Botswana with Creative Borders, teaching acting and directing to 125 teens, adults, and AIDS HIV survivors, and working in the community to paint and restore local historic buildings. In the summer following his first year, he helped create a summer-intensive acting program for young actors of color in an effort to encourage and expose them to the art form and training. DJ Daughtry. As we now proceed to the conferring of degrees and awarding of diplomas, we request that you hold your applause until after the last name in each program has been announced. Will the candidates for the Bachelor of Fine Arts degree please rise? Mr. President, these students have completed the requirements for the Bachelor of Fine Arts degree of the Juilliard School and have been recommended for it by the faculty. I respectfully request that you confer the degree of Bachelor of Fine Arts upon them.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the University of the State of New York and by the Board of Trustees of the Juilliard School, I confer upon you the degree of Bachelor of Fine Arts with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereunto appertaining.
This is the moment. Margaret Anderson. Chase Colton Buntrock. Clarissa Moraes Castaneda. Hannah Rose Caton. Ethan Colangelo. Matthew Gilmore. Madeline Emma Hansen. Zoe Marissa Hollenshed. Brandon Mendez Homer. Miles Hunter. Mio Ishikawa. Lorenzo Anthony Jackson. Kylie James. Oliver Flor Yule. Nicholas B. Jerica. Juliet Ken the Balintazi. Sean Michael Lammer. Jamie Lawson. Julia Marie McDermott. Megan Myers. Jenny Palomo. Maslene Zia Park Harrison. Anka Putin. Matthew Quigley. Simone Riden. Luca Devlin Sierra. Benjamin Simons. Jacob Thoman. San Wang. Miranda Min Quinn. Christina Nicole Zuccarello. Will the candidates for the Bachelor of Music degree please rise? Mr. President, these students have completed the requirements for the Bachelor of Music degree of the Juilliard School and have been recommended for it by the faculty. I respectfully request that you confer the degree of Bachelor of Music upon them.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the University of the State of New York and by the Board of Trustees of the Juilliard School, I confer upon you the degree of Bachelor of Music with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereunto appertaining.
Rachel Ahn. Shanae Lauren Anderson. Cristobal Arias. Lucian Avalon. Yuki Beppu. Joseph Bricker. Anne Sangan Cho. Marie Kotsia with academic honors. Shelby Joelle Cox. Tyler Cunningham with academic honors. Wan Chan Do. Mish Eusebio. Jack Frere. Charles Galante. Michelle Geffner. Hannah Geisinger. Janice Go. Hade Sandria Guy. Lironi Hakami. Anthony Hervey. Joan Hoffmeyer. Yunchi Su. Alice Ivy Pemberton. Salome Jordania. John Howard Kay, Jungmin Kim, Carmen Jessica Knoll, Chisa Kodaka, Changjin Ko with academic honors, Jasmine Lavariega, Jonathan Dominic Law, Kyung Ah Lee, Su-Yun Lee, Hechengzi Lee, Madison Lusby, Sydney Lusby, Chen Chun Ma, Max Elong Ma, KJ McDonald, Chaeyoung Park, Ji-hyuk Park, Sungmoon Brian Park, Yezi Park, Ann Richardson, Inori Sakai, Lauren Cease, Nathaniel Ruben Isig Silberschlag, Rachel Sue, Justin Smith, Christopher Stackness, Lucas Stratman, Xiao Sun, Luke Ryan Sutliff, Micah Thomas, Isaiah Justin Thompson, James Tobias, Jacqueline So, Jacob Vandersloot, Robert Volkman, Ke Wang, Angela Yunji Wee, Joel Wenhart, Emmanuel Wilkins, Katie Hannah Wong, Yuchong Wu, Mira Yamamoto, Pinhua Zheng, Nuoya Zhang, Wei Zhu, Emma Zhuang. Will the candidates for the graduate diploma please stand? Mr. President, these students have completed the requirements for the graduate diploma of the Juilliard School and have been recommended for it by the faculty. I respectfully request that you award the graduate diploma to them.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the University of the State of New York and by the Board of Trustees of the Juilliard School, I award you the graduate diploma.
Ishwen Ethan Lin. Sorry, wrong order. Jonas Aumiller. And now, Ishwen Ethan Lin. Will the candidates for the Master of Fine Arts degree please rise? Mr. President, these students have completed the requirements for the Master of Fine Arts degree of the Juilliard School and have been recommended for it by the faculty. I respectfully request that you confer the degree of Master of Fine Arts upon them.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the University of the State of New York and by the Board of Trustees of the Juilliard School, I confer upon you the degree of Master of Fine Arts with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereunto appertaining.
Alberto Sebastian Arroyo Aviles. Anthony Bowden. Daryl Jean Daughtry Jr. Maria Regina Crucio de Vera. Susanna Hershkowitz. Henry Jenkinson. Ramzi Khalaf. Keshav Mudliar. David Seth Rosenberg. Tracy Lane Thomason. Anya Whalen Smith. Will the candidates for the Master of Music degree please rise? Mr. President, these students have completed the requirements for the Master of Music degree of the Juilliard School and have been recommended for it by the faculty. I respectfully request that you confer the degree of Master of Music upon them.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the University of the State of New York and by the Board of Trustees of the Juilliard School, I confer upon you the degree of Master of Music with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereunto appertaining.
Wyeth George Alexi. Zeynep Melis Alpan. Shaked Bar. Sophia Margaret Basile. Camden Boyle. Claire Bradford. Enchi Cheng. Xu Chung. Mark Julian Chen. Chinpong Harry Chu. Ishwan Annabelle Chu. Heiji Ashley Cho. Jisoo Choi. Brittany Conrad. Giorgio Consolati. John Henry Crawford. Amelia Dietrich. Marie Ruth Engel. Katie Evanishan. Daniel Giacobbe. Jack Miller Guglielmetti. Noah Halpern. Harrison Honor. Reishuang Hung. Aeneas Damian Hum. Mary Grace Johnson, Alexandra Kassman, Jacob Kelberman, Alberta Gabrielle Khoury, Dohyun Kim, Esther Kim, Halam Kim, Jae Young Kim, Caitlin Rochelle Kester, Mitchell Kuhn, Harriet Langley, Ilya Laskin, Chung Ho Lee, Song Hee Lee, Zixiao Lee, Catherine Q. Hyun Lim, Ishin Cindy Lin, Kate Liu, Jiaqi Dragon Long, Trey Mackler, Jonathan Mamora, Tapelo Masita, George Alexander Meyer, Mark Migo Cortez, Kyung Ji Min, Micah Elizabeth Murphy, Madeline Claire Olson, Adam Michał Olszewski, Stephen Anthony Palacio, Matthew David Pierce, Ao Peng, Lenka Petrovich, Welvin Noel Potter, Yue Chan, Marco Adrian Ramos Rodriguez, Court Roberts, Ivan Enrique Rodriguez, Yeri Rowe, Eleanor Rufeisen, Jean-Saint Brisé, Armen Sarkisian, Philip Norman Shigog, Andrew James Summer, Sophia Sun, Alexa Elizabeth Tarantino, Jonathan Edward Thomas, Wenqing Agnes Tsay, Yinying Tseng, Reed Sarasua Tucker, Ann Chen Wang, Chen Tai Ashley Wang, Rogu Wang, Mariel Werner, Stephen Wimple, Aaron Wolf, Sam Wu, Christine Wu, Choi Tung Young, Hikaru Yonazaki, J. Adam Young, Angie Zhang, Rei Shui Zhang, Will the candidates for the artist diploma please rise? Mr. President, these students have completed the requirements for the artist diploma of the Juilliard School and have been recommended for it by the faculty. I respectfully request that you award the artist diploma to them.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the University of the State of New York and by the Board of Trustees of the Juilliard School, I award you the artist diploma.
You Casares. Francesco Ciniglio. Ruben Patrick Speedwell Fox. Addison Wood Fry. Mark Lewandowski. Danye R. Love. Raul Antonio Meneses. Drew Peterson. Kasperi Sarikoski. Charles C. Brian Watkins. I'm very pleased now to welcome back Jane Gottlieb, the chair of the Doctoral Governance Committee and Juilliard's Vice President for Library and Information Resources.
The Doctoral Governance Committee admits students to the DMA degree program and supervises all aspects of their academic progress throughout the duration of their studies. I'm pleased to introduce members of the Doctoral Committee, most of whom are with us today. Jonathan Daw, Michael Griffel, Philip Lasser, Stephen Lates, Anne-Marie Reynolds, Joel Sachs, and Aaron Wunsch. Will the candidates for the Doctor of Musical Arts degree please rise? Mr. President, these students have completed the requirements for the Doctor of Musical Arts degree of the Juilliard School and have been recommended for it by the faculty. I respectfully request that you confer the degree of Doctor of Musical Arts upon them.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the University of the State of New York and by the Board of the Juilliard School, Board of Trustees of the Juilliard School, I confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Musical Arts with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereunto appertaining.
Harry Renard Joyner. Jian Sun. Arthur Edward Williford. Alvin Shu.
And so, we come to the close of our commencement, which, as our provost and dean noted yesterday, is not an ending, but it is a beginning to commence. You will now commence again, informed by your experiences here. As we conclude the ceremony, I'd ask that the audience members allow the platform party and the graduates to leave the hall first. Will the graduates please rise? You, graduates, you are the hope and the pride of this school. We are your team, and we wish you every blessing. With belief in all of you and love for all of you, this concludes the 114th commencement exercises of the Juilliard School. Congratulations to all of you.